Could you just cover music synchronisation and licensing? So the chaps have released their track, it's question 6. To put their record out, how could a sync deal or licensing their track out to a third party benefit them in ways of income?
Like a third party compilation CD. You get, particularly labels get approached, often artists though as well, don't they? Straight away.
Nowadays.
You know, the likes of Ministry of Sound, well, let's even say the Now series as well.
Yeah,
even
Now
if you get to that
series.
size, you know, or any third party compilation, you've probably all got one. All right.
All the majors have got their own departments, haven't they? For
Those companies approach labels. Well, actually, first off, they'll approach publishers, which we'll come on to in a minute. They'll then approach labels and then artists to actually license that track that they've heard, maybe promo, or it's been released already, and they want that to feature on a third-party compilation. Often the way it works is they'll send you what's known as an HOA, which is short for heads of agreement, detailing short form contract detailing what they intend to do, how many copies of this they intend to release, how many tracks are going to be on it, various other bits and pieces go on the contract. They'll request to use the track within a mix. Not always will they use it. A lot of companies nowadays actually grab 30 or 40 tracks in the hope that whoever's mixing that, whoever's mixing that will eventually put that sequence together, if it's a mix CD, for example. And you may be lucky enough to go on it. Often they'll offer you an advance, a small one to start off with. Have you come across this at all?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I often see, small advances being offered by, these big companies. I always turn around and go, well, how many are you pressing? How many are you actually manufacturing of these CDs, and where are they going throughout the world? That's a big thing. If they turn around, well, we're doing 40 to 70,000, then can you up that advance then, please? Right, so that advance should be upped. And you're looking at, royalties coming back off those albums as they're sold.
It can be lucrative if they're big, successful compilation albums. Yeah. It can be very lucrative.
So that's just one. Other third party. You've got synchronization to film or TV or games, for example.
Film and TV especially are very, very profitable.
Yeah. There's two types of deals. There's a royalty base or what is known as a buyout fee. All right. You have to kind of weigh up and find out what that film or TV show is going to do. Now, it's difficult to gauge.
Yeah.
Really, really difficult, because you don't know if that's going to blow up worldwide, or if it's going to, how many networks it's going to go across. I'm a firm believer. I've done a couple of buyouts fees in the past where I've just gone, they've offered me X amount of money, that's what you're going to get, and I've taken it because I thought I need that money at the minute, or that's great, it's a great offer. And then you sit back and you watch that blow up into something else, and you think, damn, I should have gone for the royalty, because alright, I would have had to wait a lot longer for it, but when it comes back around, it's going to be far greater than what the buyout fee would be. Huh?
Like you, McGregor and Star.
Yeah, for example, yeah, absolutely. And those royalties are payable via the company, but often, if it's, TV and media, PRS will pay that, or will collect that as well, because they're one of the companies that can only regulate that. It's a performance royalty at the end of the day. All right. Synchronization, third-party licensing can be very lucrative now.
If a company like EA Sports approach you, is there a different approach to TV, film? What's the deal? Do you get a publishing company working for you, trying to source?
It depends. I suppose it depends how big the deal potentially is, Mm-hmm. I mean, I know people that have written music for American Airlines ad campaigns, Smirnoff vodka and stuff, and the tiny things, and they deal with it all themselves. So, and then I know other people that employ a third-party licensing company to deal with third-party licenses. So
See, often that's what publishing comes in. You know, it's great to have a publisher because publishers, one of their main jobs is to exploit that music.
They actively go out and try and push your music to TV.
They have their contacts within every single media industry. All right, not only just them as a publisher, but also they have what's known as sub-publishers. So that's other publishers in different territories around the world. All right, so they'll, you know, for example, one of my publishers is very close to Bucks Music in the States, which is one of the biggest publishers in America, and they're licensing tracks to the likes of CSI Miami. All right, all those different versions of that TV show. And you get a track on one of those TV shows, and you're looking at 40, 50 grand per show, you know?
And they're all repeated all over the world.
And they're repeated all over the world, you know? So licensing is a really big thing, and having a publisher, you know, the publisher's duty is literally to do that. You know, you could actually approach a publisher without even being signed to a label, and they can actually go and find you a label deal as well, you know? So publishing is a really important area to look at.
If you can find a good publisher, that will definitely in this area you'll see way more benefit than trying to do it yourself.
And basically, what they'll do is instead of the PRS and MCPS and PPL paying the money to you direct, they'll pay it to the publisher. They'll take a cut and then send you on your money like that. So they'll take care of all of it.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is, as you say, go out actively getting all these sync deals for you.
They go out and find and try and put it on everywhere.
That's actively go out and hunt down your money from all the territories around the world as well, which is...
And it's always best to go with a different record company and publisher, so they're both... Universal Publishing and Universal Record Label, for example, you wouldn't find a band on both of those together.
No, it's a clash of interests.
It's a clash of interests. You need to have a separate publisher and a separate record label who are fighting their own corner and trying to get you the best deals possible.
Right.
What sort of cut do publishers take?
It's usually
depends on the deal, doesn't
it really depends on the deal. It's always in the artist's favour, usually.
Yeah, always. It'll always be in the artist's
always,
favour.
you know, 60%, 70% you. It depends on the deal. It really depends also as well. When looking at a publisher, try and find out what they've done in the past, and think about what other clients they've already got.
Look at their catalogue.
Yeah.
Look at what they're publishing.
Always look at that first.
And also the percentage will vary on how much advance you take. So because you'll get given an advance for a publishing deal. Now it could be £10,000, it could be £1 million, it could be £10 million. Depends how big the publisher thinks you're going to be.
That's it.
And that will affect the size of that advance will affect your royalty rate, the royalty rate they offer you as well.
And don't forget, it's better to have 100% of nothing. If you're doing it yourself, you're not going to get any income.
Yeah.
You get 100% of nothing, or you could get like 70% of a shitload of money. So
you'd find it difficult as artists to actually try and get all your stuff sequenced to all these music and films and TV and games, you know, whereas they're already doing that. So it really is worth, you know, getting a publishing deal sometimes, because all right, they're taking a cut, but you know what they're going to do for you is going to earn you.
Yeah, and you want to spend your time concentrating on making the music. At the end of the day, you don't want to be doing all this.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing all the paperwork. You just want to make the music. That's the idea.
Is the publishing advance recoupable as well?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You know, any advance is recoupable.
That will come off before you've seen it.
Don't ever think, that's it. I'm going to get more money after that. It's all recoupable. And when the word advance.
Yeah. Any time you see the word advance, know that you won't see anything until that advance has been made up. Yeah, in whatever respect it is.
Okay.
Depends. I mean, it really does depend. I mean, it's a good thing if you need the money. Like if you need the money to record the album, or you need the money to, you know, buy your band new equipment, or if you need it, then you really have to do it on a case by case basis.
Depends on the contract overall, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
definitely.
I think you've got to look at the contract as an entirety and think, right, how much can I live on until until that's recouped?
If you go and blow it all straight away, then you may be in trouble if you're just relying on that income.
You've just got to be sensible with it when you do get it. I mean, there's been bands I've read in the press who've got an advance for like £500,000 and gone out and bought the best equipment and the amazing kind of
spunk it in 5 minutes.
20 grand on bongos and all this sort of shit. I mean, and that money's got to last them until it's recouped and the royalties start coming in. So you've got to be really careful. Invest it in something that's going to keeps the money coming in.
But also, a big advance is a sign of the publisher's belief in you as well. So the bigger advance you're offered, you know, that's showing, that's saying that we believe in you. We think you're going to earn us a load of money because we're prepared to put 500 grand on the table now. So it really does depend. I mean, you will, you know, I can't think of any situation where you wouldn't get an advance for a publishing contract.
They have a great legal department as well, and it really helps if you've got a publisher, a really good publisher. They have a really good legal department, and they can deal with all the types of contracts, synchronisation contracts. They'll take all that away from you.
And copyright issues as well, because it's in their interest.
Yeah.
Because it's their catalogue as well. You are signing your rights to the publisher as well for all your music.
That also brings its own benefits as well, because like so I said, they've got a whole catalogue of other artists. So you could end up working with other artists on their catalogue. It's in their interest to bring you guys together.
Yeah.
So if you're signed to the same label that, I don't know, say Madonna is signed to, then the chances are you've got more chance of getting to do a track with Madonna being on the same publisher as her than you would have just approaching her cold.
Literally, some people in their careers will just can sit there in their bedroom with a basic piano in front of them and a microphone and Logic and just record raw songs, and that's a song in basic form. But that song is then given to the publisher, and the publisher can then put that in front of the likes of Madonna's management and Madonna, and then all of a sudden that is blown up, And who earns the most amount of money off of that?
Songwriters.
The songwriter. So, and all they're doing is sitting in their bedroom.
Publishing is the most lucrative area of the whole music business. That's where all the money comes from. Well, all the money, the majority of the money. All the people that are rich have got the publishing.
Okay, chaps, I think we're going to leave it.